Hey family, welcome back to Imani Invests. Today we were going to talk about a milestone that most of us have been taught to chase since we were little. It's that magic. Number $100,000 a year. I want you to imagine two people, Marcus and Tasha, who both crossed that six-figure line on the exact same Friday. They live in the same city, they read the same age, and they work in the same industry. Marcus is sitting in his car in the parking lot, staring at his direct deposit, and he actually feels a knot in his stomach. He spent his lunch break adding up his bills. And even with this big win, the math just isn't amazing. He's already spent that money before it even landed. Now, look at Tasha. Same notification, same amount, she sees it, closes her phone, and goes for a walk. She's been living comfortably at 90, $6,000 for years, and this extra $4,000 didn't change her life. It just confirmed her freedom. Same income, same city, same day, but one of them just got richer while the other just got trapped. Today, we are going to break down why crossing $100,000 quietly rewires your financial life, and why for many of our people, it's the exact point where the dream starts to feel like a nightmare. Let us start with the truth that nobody wants to say out loud because it sounds like complaining. $100,000 just isn't what it used to be. Not even close. If you look at the purchasing power, $100,000 today feels like about $36,000 back in 1980. That number our parents and grandparents associated with beach houses, luxury cars, and early retirement is now what we were using to pay for a one-bedroom apartment where the dishwasher sounds like it's about to quit. The six-figure club didn't just get more crowded, the walls started closing in. Back in the early 90s, only 5% of households made six figures. Today, it's nearly half. Culturally, we think crossing this line means we re-winning, but the reality on the ground feels very different. The first place the illusion breaks is with the tax man. If you a single filer making $100,000 in 2025, you are sitting right in the 22% federal tax bracket. Between federal taxes and FICA, you're looking at about $20,000 gone before you even see your check. Then, depending on where you live, the geography penalty kicks in. In a place like Texas or Florida, you might take home around $6,500 a month. But in New York City, you were looking at closer to $5,800. That's an $8,000 gap every year just because of your zip code. But the real tax story is what happens to the benefits you used to rely on. The government has this idea that at $100,000 you are wealthy, so they start taking away the tools you were using to climb. That student loan interest deduction. Gone. The American Opportunity Tax Credit. Phased out. Even the deduction for your traditional IRA disappears if you have a 401k at work. It's like the IRS threw a surprise party for your success, and the only gift is a higher bill and a note that says, "You, rich now, figure it out." Your bank account doesn't feel rich, but your tax return says you are, and that gap is where the anxiety lives. Then there is the housing trap. At today's mortgage rates, a $100,000 salary might let you afford a house around $360,000. That sounds like a lot, but in many of the cities where our community lives and works, the median price is way higher. In Los Angeles, you need to make over $260,000 to buy a median home. In Seattle, it's over $200,000. In San Francisco, the federal government, HUD, actually classifies a single person earning up to $118,000 as low income. Let that sink in. You can earn six figures and officially qualify for subsidized affordable housing. That's not a success story, that's the ceiling falling on the floor now. I want to show you what this looks like inside a household that on paper is winning. Meet the Washingtons. They in their early 30s, and together they pull in $200,000 a year. This is upper middle class. This is what we were told to aim for. They have a modest house, 2 paid off cars, and 2 kids in daycare. After all the taxes, they take home about $12,800 a month. But then the adult life math starts. Mortgage, property taxes, and utilities eat up $3,600. Daycare for 2 kids averages $2,500 a month. In big cities, it's closer to $3,200. Add in health insurance, student loans, groceries for a growing family, and transportation. And suddenly they've spent $12,400 out of that $12,800 take. Home pay. They are $400 away from zero every month. This is before buying a single pair of shoes for the kids, before a Netflix subscription, and before a single dinner out. When the dryer starts making that breaking down noise, they both just stand there in silence, because neither wants to admit they can afford a new one on a $200,000 income. This is what lifestyle creep looks like when it's finished its work. It's not a Lamborghini, it's a life that costs exactly what you earn. And here is the wild part. Living paycheck to paycheck isn't tea just for those earning less. Data shows that while 57% of people making under 50,000 live paycheck to paycheck, 40% of people making over $500,000 say the exact same thing. Every raise you get lands in a culture that has already priced it in. The algorithm starts showing you nicer furniture, better vacations, and status symbols that your friends are already buying. The raise that was supposed to buy your freedom instead just buys a more expensive version of the same stress. Especially for my sisters and brothers with kids, the math gets brutal. Daycare can easily cost $30,000 to $60,000 a year for 2 kids. That's an entire pre-tax salary, just for the privilege of going to work. And the tax breaks designed to help, like the dependent care FSA, barely cover a fraction of the cost. One partner ends up working full time for what amounts to Starbucks money after taxes and childcare are paid. That isn't a personal failure, it's just what the math does when we aren't being intentional. So why don't these high earners just save more? Because the system makes it hard. To max out a 401k in 2026, you have to put in nearly $25,000. That's a huge chunk of a $100,000 salary before you've even paid the rent. We aren't a country of lazy savers. We're a country of people choosing between their retirement and their kids' tuition every single month. Nearly 20% of six-figure households say they would struggle to cover a $400 emergency. That's not poverty, but it is fragility. It's the feeling that one flat tire or one vet bill could trigger a crisis. At the end of the day, you lose the tax benefits, you lose the housing margin, but the biggest thing you lose is the emotional payoff. We think the I made it feeling comes with the salary, but research shows that for many, happiness plateaus at $100,000 if they were already struggling. Money can pull you out of misery, but it only compounds joy if you were already content. As one psychologist put it, earning does make you feel rich, spending does. And when you're trying to build a legacy, stashing every dollar can make you feel constrained rather than wealthy. So, family, what do we actually do with this? I don't want you to be discouraged. I want you to be armed with the truth. First, treat $100,000 as a new baseline, not a finish line. The old cultural script is dead. In today's world, to actually feel wealthy and secure, the real target is often much higher. Second, you have to aggressively protect the gap. When you get that raise that pushes you past 6 figures, bank the difference before you even get used to it. Increase your 401k or your Roth IRA contribution the very same day. If you don't give that money a job, your lifestyle will find one for it. And third, don't let the gap between how it's supposed to feel and how it actually feels make you bitter. It's just the math. Every generation faces its own version of this. Your parents' $50,000 job could buy a house, but your $100,000 job might not. The goal was never the salary, the goal was always the margin, the space between what you earn and what you spend. The day you actually feel rich be the day your paycheck gets bigger. It will be the first Tuesday you realize your income grew, but your expenses stayed right where they were. That is the real threshold. Everything else is just marketing. This is Imani reminding you that wealth is built by your decisions, not just your deposits. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe to the Imani Invests family, and share this with a sister who is working hard but still feeling the squeeze. We're rebuilding our legacies together, one step at a time. I'll see you in the next one.